Welcome to Locket in the Czech Republic for round 13 of the FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship. Race 2 for MX2 is just around the corner. And after a dramatic opener, will there be any more surprises in store in this second race? Race 2 MX2 just around the corner here in the Czech Republic at Locket.
Na blízko, určitě chlapi, stojí to za to, tam byl nějaký určitě kvalitní výběr na ty hostesky. Takže to tady uvidíme.
If you're joining us for the first time today, welcome to the Czech Republic and the circuit of Locket, right over there in the west of the country, close to the German border, about an hour and 3/4, 2 hours drive from the capital, Prague. Temperature started to creep up here. It was very windy yesterday. It was still quite warm, but this 1,600-meter-long circuit or thereabouts in prime condition. It's a little bit gnarly out there in some places, some deep ruts, but some square edge holes as well. But no problems with any drying conditions. Perfect amount of water out on track, but it will be slick in 1 or 2 areas. And the MX2 riders in the opening laps, I'm sure, will have to be vigilant as to how they attack this circuit. But they've just come in from their sighting lap. And they're almost ready to go racing once more. Jeffrey Hurlings not riding, of course, due to picking up a dislocated hip in the qualifying race yesterday. But he still has a 46-point lead in the MX2 standings because of what happened in race 1. Highlights coming up in just a moment. But this season in MX2 this year has been quite dramatic, to say the least. And there was more drama in race 1 involving one of our, or two of our championship contenders. And you're about to find out. When the gate dropped, it was the 3-2-1 of Samuele Bernardini on the factory TM, who hauled his way up into turn 1 and across the Fox hole shot line first as Adam Sterry and David Puches both went down. Max Anstey was well placed, though, inside the top 5. He is an outside bet for World Championship glory in the absence of Jeffrey Hurlings. So too, number 1, Jordi Tixier, the 41 of Paul Jonas, the 91 of Jeremy Sewa, and there in red, in the bottom corner, the 2-4-3 of Tim Geiser. This was Anstey finding his way into second with that pass on Tixier. That was on lap 3. Valentin Guillot was in there as well, but as the race went on, the 3-2-1 of Bernardini started to get bumped backwards. Geiser made a mistake, and unavoiding the carnage in front of him was Jeremy Sewa, who picked himself up and rejoined the race and came home in 11th. But for Tim Geiser, second in the championship, 46 points behind Hurlings, his race was done. The silencer so mangled on that Honda Garibaldi machine, he would not take any further part in the race. Valentin Guillot, though, after a semi-decent start for him, starting to carve his way through the field. He made that move on the 41 of Jonas to get himself up into 3rd place. But then, a lap later, lost the back end, dropped back down to 5th behind Benoit Paturel, and the 41 of Jonas had it all to do again. His teammate, though, Julian Lieber, number 33, started in 19th position, got himself up behind the 128 of Monticelli and was challenging for 7th, which is where he would eventually finish. As Guillot went back to work on the number 6 of Benoit Paturel, found his way up the inside of the Frenchman here. That got Guillot up into 4th place, and then went after the 41 Red Bull KTM of Paul Jonas. And this was a battle for 3rd. Guillot eventually going around the outside of the Latvian. That was with a handful of laps to go. Petar Petrov on the Monster Energy Kawasaki 152 forced his way up the inside of Benoit Paturel to get himself into 5th place, but the Bulgarian would fall on the final lap, back down to 6th, handing that 5th place back to the Kemiya Yamaha. Tixier was well positioned in 2nd place, about 3 or 4 seconds behind the number 99 Monster Energy DRT Kawasaki of Max Anstey, your race leader since lap 4. But in the closing stages, Tixier did not realise how hard and how fast the 92 at Valentin Guillot was charging 2 fastest laps of the race in succession. A smart move at the bottom of the hill, and that was a pass that got Guillot into second on the final lap behind Anstey. Tixier was third. But Lisa Leyland is down on the grid, getting ready to speak to Jeremy Seewer. See what he has to say.
Hello and welcome to the start of the second MX2 race of the day. Thankfully the sun's come out, so we've got good weather for the second half of the day. Now I want to speak to a man that had quite an eventful first race. It's Jeremy Seewer. Hi Jeremy. Let's talk about the first race actually. If we just come out here, just to get you in front of the camera. Yeah, you had a bit of a run-in with Geiser, didn't you? Tell us what happened.
Actually, we had quite a bit fight, me, Valentin, and Geiser, and then I was just behind Geiser, and he made a mistake, crashed just in front of me on a pretty high-speed section, so I crashed into his bike quite big. I went over the bar. My bike was complete bent. Yeah, I managed to finish 11th, but I'm really not happy about that, and I'm looking forward. So.
Okay, best of luck. Thank you, Jeremy. Now, the next man I want to speak to is just here, is Samuele Bernardini. Samuele, hello. So I know you're just about to get ready, but I want to talk about your start on the TM. It's been really good so far in qualifying as well, hasn't it? So are you going to be able to keep it up for race 2?
Yes, I'm very happy for this good start. I'm test now, but I am very happy for the start because for me first start in all shot in MX2, and I am very happy.
Best of luck. Thank you, Samuele. Fingers crossed. Time for MX2 race 2.
The MX2 riders down on the grid. This is how they line up after their qualifying races yesterday. Max Anstey with his second consecutive pole. Adam Wheeler on trackoffroad.com joins me now. Adam, interesting first race there. Obviously, Max Anstey picking up another race win, but behind him, Guillot, one of the hard chargers of the race, made it difficult for himself, didn't he? But eventually got there in the end.
Yeah, Guillot, I think Paul is one of the fastest riders in this category over the weekend. Very quick as well yesterday in the qualification heat. If he doesn't get the start right then, though, today, then win this second moto, then he can kiss goodbye to the overall victory because Anstey's really riding well. And this guy, Tim Geiger, well, I mean, he has a fantastic ride straight from the off in the first moto, but he made a mess of it.
We saw the crash live. We saw it in the replay there as well. Just hugged the bank down in the bottom end of the circuit, and Patcan stepped out. Jeremy Seewer couldn't avoid him, and they went down. But Jeremy Seewer picking himself up, scoring points in 11th position. But Valentin Guillot, a great ride through, the fastest rider in the on the race in moto number 1 behind this guy, Max Anstey. But Anstey picking up another race win. In terms of the championship, though, Adam, Jeffrey Hurlings, obviously, we thought there's a chance that he could still lead the championship after this round, and that looks like it's going to be the case, doesn't it? Because no one's going to sort of score 46 points in this second moto. But Tim Geiser had a golden opportunity to claw back some of that deficit.
But there's 2 stories here today, Paul, and this moto is like for the Grand Prix today, but also for the championship picture. I think we have 6 riders now behind Jeffrey Hurlings within 30 points? 40 points. I mean, that's nothing, is it?
No.
It's, you know, it's really made things interesting as much as it is painful for Jeffrey Hurlings to crash out here. But,
well, when we look at the championship, obviously Jeffrey Hurning's on 4.23, but will take no further part in the World Championship. We know that after that dislocated hip that he picked up in the qualifying race yesterday. So after that, we look down the list. Tim Geiser on 3.77, Valentin Guillot on 3.74, Pauls Jonas 3.69, Jeremy Seewer 3.55, Jordi Tixier 3.54, and Max Anstey 3.37. 40 points separating second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh in the World Championship standings, and the guy with the least pressure, probably Max Anstey, because of how far down he is in the championship table. Would you agree?
I'm not sure. I think maybe he's got quite a bit of pressure now, because after the victory in Latvia and also the first moto here, people are looking at him thinking, well, he's the form rider, he's the one that's gaining ground in the championship. I imagine Max will be putting a bit of pressure on himself. Let's see what he can do here now.
Well, the 15-second board goes up. Ingo Parch, our FIM race director, of course, bringing us under starters orders as always, but
where's that
30 minutes plus 2 laps. He's about 5 or 6 gates over from the right-hand side as we look at it. So will he be coming from that inside line again? Gate about to drop here. Oh, a couple of riders went too early. Adam Sterry was one of those alongside Jordi Tixier, but no whole shot for Bernardini this time. In fact, was it a Kawasaki at the inside, or was it Geiser around the outside? But Jens Getterman didn't score points in race 1, out at race 2, but it's Geiser who leads the way into turn 2. Anstey right there just behind him. Guillaume well placed. So too was the number 1 of Jordi Tixier. But as they disappear over the hill, let's wait for them to drop down towards the finish line area. Geiser leads, Anstey second, Bernardini right there in third. Look, Jonas fourth, Guillaume in 5th place, Paturel 6th, Tixier, Siwa.
Oh, Paturel at the top of the hill.
He's still there, though.
Yeah, he got through it.
Just there behind my heart in my mouth at the moment. I was thinking, did he make it through? Did he make it through?
Well, honestly, if you're going off there, that's one of the steepest step downs on the championship, isn't it? It's pretty gnarly stuff heading down there.
So working their way round to where the start was last year, up against those trees, but it's Tim Geiser with a point to prove. Anstey just looking over his shoulder, thinking, well, who's that behind me? And he'll say, well, it's only Samuele Bernardini, because he probably knows he's going to fade towards the back. No disrespect there, but that's just, you know, a good start. Just hasn't got the fitness at the moment, has he? Oh. But he'll definitely hang it out there for the first few laps, will Bernardini. Jonas there in 4th. Then it was Guillaume, wasn't it, in 5th place? Paturel losing a couple of places, and riders down in the background. And look at this, TM Bernardini up the inside of Anstey.
I think he needed a bit more of that in the first moto, Paul Bernardini.
Kevin Force.
Yeah, it was on a KTM, one of the Yamahas.
Yeah, it was just the orange clothing, wasn't it? So Kevin Force on the Raytec Yamaha from Belgium. That looked like the triple wave section over behind the pit lane area. But look at Anstey having to fight off the TM of Bernardini at the moment, but they're both closed up on the rear wheel of Geiser. Very difficult conditions here, Adam, because obviously fresh water going down on the track. Anstey knows he's got to make a move here. He's going to cut to the outside of Geiser, who'll try and turn up the inside of him here.
Nice. I didn't get the traction, did he?
But look how wet and shiny it is on that area. Anstey going right to the left where it's a lot drier.
A lot of puddles as well. I mean, if you just see the shine on the track, but that's always what MX2 guys have to deal with, isn't it? I want to see how Geiser's riding in this moto, Paul, because in the first one he was going a little bit like a lunatic to gain back positions and led to that big crash. Maybe now he's got a clear track ahead of him. He's not going to be so risky, or maybe to settle into a rhythm that's not so, I don't know, precarious for losing points like he did in the first moto.
Look at Guillaume. He's a danger guy in the fluorescent helmet in 4th place. Behind that, 3-2-1, the TM of Samuele Bernardini. Fastest rider on track in race 1, remember. But it's Anstey who's the fastest on that opening lap with 1:52.5, about 3 tenths quicker than the guy ahead of him, Tim Geiser. And about 4 or 5 tenths quicker than the guys behind him at this stage of the race. But it's Geiser, Anstey, Bernardini, Guillaume. They top 4. Guillaume trying to find his way past the TM rider.
Bernardini's a little bit like an annoying fly around these guys at the moment, isn't it? Because they're not only racing for podiums here, well, a podium at this Grand Prix, but you know there is that, like we said, that bigger picture of the championship.
Yeah, World Championship points.
Yeah, and as the Grand Prix tick down, we've only got 5 to go after this. They're going to be looking around them even more, thinking, well, he's only 7 or 8 from me, he's only 10 ahead of me, and you know it's going to get like that.
Bernardini just getting a little bit wayward over those square edge bumps and almost catching the front wheel of Valentin Guillaume as he tried to go up the inside of the Italian. Jonas in 5th, Tixier 6th, Paturel 7th, Siwa is in 8th, Petrov 9, Lieber 10, Pucci's 11. Zaragossa's dropped from 12th to 14th because Brent Van Donnick and Brian Borgers have both gone through as Anstey looking to challenge over there in the distance, but Tixier trying to find his way past the 41 of Paul Jonas. Adam Sterry is in 16th place behind Robert Just, Monticelli, Brill-Yakov, Kulas and Covington bringing up the top 20 riders. Ben Watson just out the points in 21st place.
And Harry Kulas made the podium in his first ride for the Factory Husqvarna team 2 weeks ago, but a sandy track, different conditions, hasn't got the starts today, has he?
No, 28th. I think he got held up in the first turn, but he carved his way up 1 rider a lap for the first 6 or 7 laps, and then he was static, eventually coming home in 19th place, Harry Kulas. And it's going to take riders a little bit longer to get through as well, with the conditions in the early part of this race being a little bit slick on top. It's going to take a few laps for the just that grease just to disperse a little bit. But look at this here. The top 3, Geiser, Anstey, Guillaume, 3 contenders for the World Championship this year, Adam, all locked together now as they head up the hill for the 3rd time.
And Guillaume's just done the fastest lap as well.
No surprise there. He banged 2 of those in right at the end as Geiser just losing the back end as he came out of the right-hander at the end of pit straight there.
And what's the background here? You've got Max Anstey, winner of the last Grand Prix, the rider in form. Tim Geiser nursing a right ankle injury that he picked up at that same Grand Prix in Latvia. Also a sore torso because he crashed while training on Thursday before this Grand Prix. And then you got Valentin Guillaume, who's like heading into MXGP next year, knows this is his last chance to do anything in this category.
Riders opting to swing wide through there. It's a lot smoother through the middle to the right as they approach that Casino Bomba step up.
Quite a few of the riders saying, Paul, that this Lockett circuit in one of its roughest and best, most technical states we've seen for a number of years. I mean, it wasn't that well watered, was it, when we came here on Friday? I mean, there was quite a lot of rainfall Friday evening, but the riders saying there are lines, there are options out there, which isn't always the case on a track like this. Also, you can see that pebbly kind of terrain. It's very slick, and as it dries out, I think we're going to see it at its best for the second MXGP motor. Yeah,
when you say the riders welcoming the rough terrain, that's quite surprising, really, because normally when there's one or two bumps appear, they all say it's quite sketchy. So, I wish they'd make their mind up sometimes, these riders. But Anstey going after the lead here. The grip starting to come back now as they were working their way back around those loops before jumping up onto the start straight. You can see how dark the nature of the ground was, and that's where the grip is starting to come in now. And Anstey just finding that grip, getting himself on the back of Geiser. And lap times, fastest lap of the race there by 0.4 of a second. Anstey, 150.5 and a 150.1 for our two leaders, Geiser and Anstey. Mechanics waiting for him to pop up over the hill as they cruise past pit lane any moment now. Guillaume third, Bernardini fourth, Jonas, Tixier, Petrel, Siwa, Petrov and Lieber. They'll be your top 10. Anstey looking to go around the outside of the Slovenian, then he'll charge down the inside here. He'll double into the corner, got to be careful, doesn't get the front end. Chopped off there from the Honda. Surprisingly though, Valentin Guillaume not making any inroads to these two at the moment, Geiser and Anstey. So these two just being able to duke it out a little bit here. Say, not making any inroads, 2 seconds the gap. There he is in the background.
Just looking a little further back, Paul, Jordi Tixier as well, one of these riders in contention for a defence of his World Championship. This is where it all started so well for him this time last year, where he won his first Grand Prix. But I think today he might be nursing some of an arm injury after the Hurlings crash yesterday.
I think that was before the Hurlings crash. He went over the line in 5th in qualifying and then got down to the bottom of the hill, the left-hander after the step down, and he was all grazed up by the time he came up the other side. So, and then he had another crash. But Anstey down the inside. Nice. This is where it all went wrong in race 1 for Tim Geiser through there. But interestingly there, light and shade again under the trees. They're going from brilliant sunshine, and there's going to be a couple of blind spots as they head under those trees down that bottom end of the circuit. So
Sean Simpson was talking about that this morning. He said the rut's heading down towards the lowest part of the track just before the tennis court. The shade there made the ruts difficult to spot and to pick up. He said it was sometimes you'd hit a massive hole and it was just really hard to judge.
And obviously that light shifting around as the day goes on, but at the moment it's just down under the trees at the bottom end of the circuit. So
I think, the track is roughed up and the bumps are kind of where they should be. That's the key thing, and there's not that many kind of big jumps at this circuit. Oh, gosh, I'm making a mistake.
Yes, and he's slow on the gas getting out of there as well. Took a nervous look over his shoulder. Saw Anstey right there, ready to pounce. He's going to go inside. Try and stay out of the bumps here, will Anstey.
And brought it, Paul, a fantastic...
Nice. Oh! And they brought it down. Oh, my. How did he save that? Heart in mouth moment for us and for Tim Geiser.
And the pit lane.
They were almost wearing that Honda.
Oh, Geiser really
just
struggling.
A few. He's had a couple of front end moments, hasn't he? Came over the finish line.
But he doesn't want to put his right foot on the ground.
Watch this, watch this. Catches a square edge bump about there. That's a neat scrub shot if you get it, but look at that. Ooh, that left leg is going to take a jab. Straightens up. Anstey had a moment here with Elliot Banks-Brown 2 years ago and went down hard there and ripped his arm open, so he would have had quick flashback moment there.
I was just looking at the Honda mechanics.
Set the fastest lap of the race before that as well. Tim Geiser 49.899. So Max Anstey now leads though.
He's riding her, Geiser. I think that maybe that's why he's just a little bit out of control. He gives that impression.
He's injured his foot, didn't he, in Latvia?
Yeah.
And then obviously slammed that bank there. He was running along the side of that bank in race 1, which obviously then the back end stepped out. So he might have caught the left leg in there as well. And obviously he didn't want to put that left leg down there. And it's taken another jab. Oh.
The shadow just...
So Guillaume then, all of a sudden, let's look at this when they come around this time around. Anstey, of course, a win in race 1, currently leading in race 2. As they drop down towards turn 4 and up towards the finish line. But Anstey will be looking at picking up another double moto Grand Prix win here. Dropping downhill then. 5 laps complete. We're on lap 6. Anstey leads the way and lead in the classification as well in terms of the overall, because 2 wins will give him another 50 points. Valentin Guillaume will be second overall with a second and a potential third here. Jonas with 2 fourths will be on the podium in third. Any threats there? Jordi Tixier. And Tixier is behind Jonas, so 4th and 5th in the race. Jonas and Tixier battling for that third step of the podium here at this Czech Grand Prix.
29 points in the championship. The thing stays as it is.
Right, have a quick look at the start. Good jump there from Anstey.
Poor jump from Guillaume.
Very poor. But he would have hooked the inside there as everybody else got pushed wide. Watch Guillaume in the yellow helmet. Benoit Paturel even further back, but he came out very, very well indeed, didn't he? He's in 7th now in the race. Foxhole shot from Geiser or Anstey. Difficult to see from there. And is this a mistake from Guillaume?
Now the rut.
Okay.
Where's he going?
A little bit of whiskey. Just saving it. Is that turn 1?
No, it's down the bottom of the hill, that turn.
Oh, here. Oh, no, that's the first turn.
Yeah.
So Guillaume then possibly losing a little bit of ground to Tim Geiser. Yes, he has. It was 1.9 before. Might have just stretched out to slightly over 2.5 seconds this time around.
Let's not forget that Guillaume needs to get ahead of Anstey if he wants to win the Grand Prix. And he's going to start run out of time because Anstey will be clicking away in this rhythm now. Here's Jonas. Where's he going to finish overall? 3rd overall, you just said, on the podium. He's got company, hasn't he?
Yeah, Tixier and Siwa. Siwa just unlucky, actually, to catch the back end of Tim Geiser when Geiser fell in front of him. Couldn't do anything about it, though. It was a little bit like the Hurlings and Tixier incident yesterday, but getting good drive, clearing a couple of holes there and taking a nervous look over his shoulder there. Tixier riding defensive as he comes under pressure, feeling the heat from the 91, Jeremy Siwa on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki. Benoit Paturel having a good Grand Prix. 7th at the moment in the race. This will be good enough for 5th overall.
Yeah, he equalled his best finish this season in the first moto. A rookie, don't forget, first Grand Prix year.
3rd in qualifying yesterday, so sign of things to come for him there as well, I think.
I'm not too sure what he's doing next year, if he's got a contract with the Kimea Yamaha team. I know Brent Van Donik's been signed up for 3 years. He's in 11th place at the moment. He's another promising rookie.
3 times he's been 8th this year. There is the best overall finishes for Benoit Paturel. He's on course for finishing 5th, his first ever top 5 finish in MX2. And that's him there in blue behind the number 91, the yellow Suzuki of Jeremy Siwa.
And just behind that pack is Petr Petrov on the other Monster Energy Kawasaki. Should we be expecting more from him, Paul, on that factory bike?
You know what? He was actually looking very relaxed in that first race. He must have made a mistake on the final lap because he went past Paturel in this corner here, ran it up the inside, went from 6th to 5th, and then on the final lap went missing, and it was Paturel who came home ahead of the Bulgarian. So I actually thought Petrov was riding a really, really good race yesterday in the first race earlier. So I think also he's got a 2-year contract with Monster Energy Kawasaki now, so his future is secure for 2 more years. He's not riding in the second half of the season thinking, I need to perform to get a contract of some sort. He's a factory rider for the next 2 years.
But he has changed teams that much. He's just a curious character, isn't he? He's still got a couple of years in MX2, but you know, everybody considers him too big, too heavy for a 250. And we still haven't seen him on the podium. I think it's his 5th year overall in the category. He lives in Belgium, or bases himself in Belgium quite a lot, so a good sand rider. So maybe the next couple of Grand Prix it'll crop up.
Lommel
or Mantovoi, you know, it's debatable how sandy that is these days. Oh,
nice move down the inside. Siwa was building for that, wasn't he, from the bottom of the step down. Got the inside line. Tixier being pushed back, and that'll take him off of a potential podium step because obviously Tixier was looking to find a way past Jonas in that battle for 3rd overall.
And he said that Cyril was unlucky to catch Geiser in the first moto and crash, but also very lucky because it was a big old spill. He spoke to his mum just in the break and she said he's actually all right. So to get away with that was fortunate. He
hit the bike and he was ejected right out the front. So Valentin Guillaume was also lucky in that because as Siwa's bike was bouncing across the track, it bounced right into the path of Guillaume, who skimmed past the rear wheel. We're talking millimetres and inches.
Tell you what, though, a lot of people rating Jeremy Siwa. Paturel trying to battle with the French.
Too easy.
Does it there.
Well, it almost was. Tixier just getting the radar on there and saying, just fend off that challenge. Probably doesn't know it's Paturel at this time.
We're talking about Siwa. I mean, a lot of people rate him for, but also, what about that? We said before, that Swiss team with the Motocross of Nations. Guillaume currently on fire in MX2, possibly a title contender. Arno Toner's coming back, you know, at AMA Nationals this weekend, taking a 3rd place in the first moto. Where was that? Washougal? So it's looking good, isn't it, for those guys?
And we've not seen them at the sharp end, have we, for a number of years? And obviously, Siwa and Guillaume, of course, they are European Championship runners, 1st and 2nd 2 years ago. And obviously, that just shows how well that European Championship is working on the par with, you know, or on the support bill for the MX2 World Championship.
Well, Anstey hasn't had it all his own way, has he?
And look at that, Valentin Guillaume, timing screen's purple, just set the fastest lap of the race.
Within 4/10 of each other, 4/10 of a second of each other, so it's very similar speed between the top 3. The difference is that Guillaume's still got to chop 3.5 seconds down somehow.
Petrov did this in the first race. He's just lurking dangerously, chipping away, and suddenly he was knocking on the door for a top 5, which he ran up the inside of the number 6 of Paturel on that Kemiya Yamaha. So he's just going to be doing the same, I think, here in the second race, Petr Petrov. But the interesting thing is Anstey and Geiser 1.3 seconds apart now.
It seemed like Geiser just needed a couple of laps to not calm down, but almost reassess what he was doing. And that was a pretty big scare next to the pit lane, wasn't it?
It was, for everybody. For Anstey behind it, because, as I said before, him and Elliot Max Brown had a moment there a couple of years ago.
Paturel getting some good corner speed into there. It's a nice, that middle line is one of the more effective, it seems.
See how the ground, as it starts to dry out, those marbles start to come into effect, rolling underneath the knobbles of the tyres. It's difficult to find traction in places like that, but... Oh, Anstey! Oh, Anstey is down! Anstey is hurt. Is he winded? Here we go, watch this. Anstey, what's he holding?
What happened here?
Back shot, back of the shot through the... Oh, he got it wrong completely. Oh! Face plan, look at the bike, look at the bike.
Guys are just trying to avoid it. Oh. Only just.
Anstey crashing out
it's like he's
of race 2.
On his shoulder there, Paul. Maybe the same one he had in Qatar.
Oh, he is in agony, he's in pain. And that is a hard track to crash on, isn't it?
Where do you think that went wrong? I mean, it was just the traction there on that.
Yeah, he was
jump.
already out of shape, wasn't he? And then it just bounced and just flung him over the bar. So Tim Geiser, all of a sudden, Valentin Guillaume looking at picking up the overall Grand Prix on 44. He can stay there in second, but knowing Guillaume, who is a genuine title challenger, he's going to be looking at trying to go after the win here, because let's look at it like this. At the start of the race, he was only 3 points behind Tim Geiser in the battle for the championship. That'll go out to 5, 6 points at the moment. If he can get this, they'll be tied on points.
For second place. No,
for
it's not going to work like that, is it? There's still a little bit of a gap.
377, 374. So 3 points there. Yeah, it's 6 points at the moment, isn't it? So it'll be back to 3 points.
It does. I mean, Anstey's crash there does show how utterly fruitless it is talking about World Championship, you know, connotations at this stage, still with 5 Grand Prix to go for. And look, anything can happen. Anstey, winner of the last 3 motos in this series, and now down.
Is he getting up? Yeah, he's up. He's up on his own feet, but...
It's been a busy weekend for the medical crew. Jeffrey Hurling's down having medical attention for almost half an hour yesterday in the qualification heat.
Yeah, but that was a precarious situation because of the complexity of the injury itself, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had 2 saline drips to cope with the pain of, you know, obviously your hip being dislocated.
And as it stands at the moment, Jeffrey Hurlings, as we said, could have still been leading the championship when we leave here and go to Belgium. Lommel in a week's time, and he is on 4.23, and Geiser on 4.02, Guillaume on 3.96, so effectively still leading the championship. Jeffrey Hurlings in what's been a very strange season in MX2 and MXGP this year, hasn't it? For one reason or another, when you thought there was no more drama, it just arrives. So we're being told now that Anstey is walking off under his own steam, so just a shock to the system. There he is.
I think he called it well there, but he just looked like he was winded.
Steve Dixon taking a look back, seeing what's going on in the race around him, but Anstey, that is a hard hit for him, so looking at picking up a double Grand Prix victory, back-to-back double moto win.
So
and then just
closer,
one little moment. Look at this here. This is Siwa going after Jonas. This is for 3rd place now. So the Suzuki on the KTM, he'll get good drive up the right-hand side here.
I'd be curious to talk to Anstey. I want to know, you know, what was the cause of that accident, because he's done that countless times this weekend, you know, that same line, that same section.
Might just be lost traction. Probably thought there was more traction than there was, and obviously a little bit of water gone down in the hour. Maybe just caught a little slick patch, caught the edge of a hole or something like that. You never know, do you? But Geiser leads at the moment then after 10 laps. We're on lap 11. Valentin Guillot is second. Jonas here leading this battle. He's in third. The guy in red on that yellow Suzuki, Jeremy Seewer, is in fourth. Tixier is 5, Petrov 6, Petrov 7, Lieber 8, Van Donnick 9, and Borges is 10. Bernardini is 11th. I mean, when you look at it there, it doesn't look like there's too much, but you get down close, there's a lot of little edges down there, and he might have just caught one of those at the wrong time. I've done that myself at Hawkstone Park, and I know exactly how that can end up, but this is the battle for the lead. Geiser and Guillot. Guillot setting the fastest lap of the race. So Geiser then.
Yeah, there's a funny line into that new section. A lot of the riders saying it's actually better, slows the track down a little bit, makes the lap time slightly longer.
Yeah, it's the same with the rise up to the pit lane as well. They've just got that slight crest before they get to the top, haven't they? Just to slow the riders down, because a couple of years ago, when it was a drag race all the way up, riders were jumping almost into pit lane. So now at least they've got the option to jump a little bit shorter.
And Paul Ann had a fantastic line in the MXGP motorboat, just coming wide, bouncing off the bank. You know, if he got it wrong, he would be in the pit lane, but just looked very effective.
Looking comfortable now, though, isn't it, Tim Geiser? Despite Valentin Guillot setting the fastest lap of the race, he was 4/10 quicker than Geiser last time around. He is closer. That's not 2 seconds. And this battle here, so we've got a battle for the lead between Geiser and Guillot. This battle here for third between the 41 of Jonas on the KTM and the yellow Suzuki of Jeremy Seewer. And then we've got Tixier not too far away, and he's got Paturel right behind him as well.
Of course, Jonas for, you know, kind of the last hope you'd like in the Red Bull KTM team of some kind of silverware this season. You know,
Seawer's down.
Same place as the first moto almost.
No, well, yeah, he was at the bottom of the hill on the first one. So Seewer then under attack immediately from the number 33 of Julian Lieber.
A little bit too close to Jonas, perhaps?
Possibly.
We're just saying, you know, KTM for Jonas for KTM is doing the job, isn't he? I mean, he's going to be second overall in this Grand Prix. 6 points.
Back end just getting lipped on there from the 33 of Lieber. Sorry, Adam.
Guillot as well.
Another fastest lap of the race, a 48.8. That gap now less than a second, and we're approaching back markers 300. Watch it. Oh, Guillot, look at that. Almost landing on the tough block there.
You've got to be careful with the pit boards.
Swallow a pit board from there.
But again, you know, you might be thinking, why is Valentin Guillot setting fastest laps? Why is he maybe taking a risk to pass Tim Geiser? But that's like we were saying earlier on. It's not just the Grand Prix, is it? Every point really counts from here on out.
Got some smite lines there as well, and obviously Geiser the first to deal with the back markers, and that's allowed Guillot to close right up on the back of the Honda. He's got a smoother line up here, and this is exactly what he's doing. He's setting faster laps just by riding a little bit smarter. The pass on Tixier in moto number 1 when he scrubbed out on the downhill was just amazing. But this is it. 6 minutes to go. Geiser under pressure from Guillot. Guillot responding to the pressure from 92. Sorry, Geiser responding from the pressure of 92, Valentin Guillot, as they head through turn 2 to complete what would be lap 13, an off-track excursion for both riders there. Guillot almost went to go too tight there, coming out of that bottom turn, and Geiser was just a little bit high and wide. Oh, brave through those long ruts there. They are proper tramline ruts through there. No fastest lap, surprisingly, this time for both guys.
There are some sections, a couple of corners where Guillot's is carrying a better speed ball. Here he's going to Like you said, that was a sweet move on Tixier in the first moto where he took second position on the last lap. And coming right down the bottom of the hill, that sort of little S section as well, he was so fast through there in the first moto.
Just watching him down that Ippon step down as well, how hard he is on the brakes. And I remember seeing him in France in practice all weekend over the far side at Villars-sous-Écosse. He was the hardest rider on the brakes at the bottom of those hills. So that's his strong point. That's one of his strong points. Up on the pegs around the outside. These two riders really second and third in the championship, effectively first and second in the championship. Guyset just getting a little bit rattled here, worrying too much about what Guillaume's doing, who's going to go wide here. He's got a better line going up the hill here. He'll just get the drive. Easily done there from Guillaume.
Guys just looking around him all the time, just trying to work out where the attack's coming from.
I think Guillaume will just outsmart him here. I wonder if Guyser, knowing the situation here, that'll be back down to 3 points between these two guys in the title race.
Guys, you're 18 years old. Valentin Guillaume, former European champion, 22, 23 perhaps. That's the move up in MXGP next year.
Yeah.
Still no confirmation on where. He's got a contract with Yamaha, but he's being courted allegedly by Suzuki. So apparently we'll know in the next week, around the time of the Grand Prix of Belgium next weekend at Le Mans.
A lot of announcements apparently in and around that Grand Prix in a week's time. But Valentin Guillaume, already a race winner this year, of course, but looking at going after a win and a Grand Prix victory here in the Czech Republic. Just under 4 minutes to go.
It's worth pointing out as well what a weekend it's been for Yamaha. Victory in the MX300 series, victory in the Women's World Championship with Chiara Fontanesi. So far, Roman Febvre winning the first MXGP moto.
Guillaume, well, this is his to lose now, isn't it? So he's sitting pretty, a second and a potential win, give him 47 points. Jonas will be second on 38, Tixier on 38 as well. Where are they in the race? They're still separated, third and fourth. Jonas and Tixier, Patrel right there. That's still an interesting battle, isn't it? Tixier, Patrel, Petrov, and Siwa.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you can see the graphic on the screen there for the podium, but in the championship, it makes it even more interesting. Look, 399, 399, tied.
Yeah.
Guys, you're only leading Guillaume by virtue of his moto victories, Grand Prix victories this season. So like you said, Paul, Hurling's, with a 22-point difference is going to have, well, there will be a red plate on that 84, that Dorman 84, when we go to Le Mans next week, but these two couldn't be closer.
I was just looking at the way Guyser came over that tabletop at the bottom end of the circuit. If he's close enough, that might be his move on the last lap. And it might end in tears as well.
I don't think he's going to get close enough.
Huh?
I don't think he'll get close enough, Guyser.
Guillaume's riding a smarter race in terms of smoother lines.
I think he's probably fitter as well,
Oh, Patrel up the inside of Tixier. We said it was a tasty little battle. Petrov right there in the background as well. And there's Jonas ahead. So all of a sudden, Patrel going from 5th to 4th and knocking on the door of Paul Jonas, who's residing in 3rd place at the moment. Just there on the jump now. So Patrel looking to emulate his 3rd in qualifying yesterday.
They're far enough away from Geiger, so Geiger can back off and not have to worry about losing that 2nd position, but Jonas is going to have to do some good defensive work here.
Well, it's going to be 3 laps to go, isn't it? It's a 1:51 lap time. We've got 1:45 on the clock. They're not over, they're over the line now, so that was very tight. But Petrov looking to go past number 1, his teammate, Jordi Tixier, and that'll put him into 5th place. 1 minute 20 plus 2 laps to go. 15 laps complete. Valentin Guillaume now 2 seconds clear of Tim Guyser. Jonas is in 3rd. Patrel just going past him 4th. Then the 2 Kawasaki's of Tixier and Petrov, 5th and 6th. The yellow Suzuki of Jeremy Siwa in the background in just a moment as Tixier almost through the front door at the top of the hill there. Gets a bit of a kick at least. So Siwa in 7th. Lieber not far off that battle in 8th. And Van Donnick all over the back of him as well. Look, in 9th place. Then Brian Borgers on the HSF Logistics KTM in 10th, but about 10 seconds further back. So there's going to be a freight train of action here, Adam.
Yeah, 6 seconds between 7 riders, so it's really bunched up, like you say. There we go, down the hill, there they all go. It's like almost the 2nd lap of the race, isn't it?
It's like first lap of morning warm-up. Jonas heading off this challenge here on the Red Bull KTM. Behind him has got the Kimiya Yamaha, then the Monster Energy Kawasaki there. Number 1, Jordi Tixier in 5th place. Petrov just behind him in 6th.
If Patrel takes his position, he's on the podium. So there's a lot to... Oh! Again, that middle line there for Paterel, but doesn't look like there's much room there with Paul Jonas. You can understand why the Yamaha rider's attacking so much. He's already in a personal best position of 4th in this moto.
But he's looking at taking a 3rd in the race as well. Yeah. That would get him on the podium.
Yeah, so I mean, if he passes Jonas, he'll have those points, I think, to get on the last step.
He's a tough rider. Lost what, 3 or 4 teeth in qualifying in the French Grand Prix, didn't he? Carried on in the qualifying race.
Is that the value of wearing a nose guard, perhaps, on your goggles? There's Tixier.
Oh, bit of a kick.
I don't think Petrov's going to be kind. Maybe there could be some sort of bizarre team orders coming into play in the championship here.
Possibly.
Tixier 5th in the championship, 29 points as it stands behind Tixier and Guillaume.
Isn't it bizarre that a year ago we were in exactly the same situation? Hurling's the championship leader out with a 140-some odd point advantage, and everybody else having to pick up the mantle.
Well, it was here 12 months ago. We thought, oh, okay, Jordi Tixier's won the Grand Prix, but he's never going to close down that gap. You know, all the way to Mexico and finish the championship. And what did he win it by? 4 points. So that's what I mean. You know,
and that's only because Jeffrey went out and rode those 2 races.
Yeah. If Petrov passes him and takes another couple of points away, Tixier knows aiming too well, better than anybody else here, how, you know, just a couple of digits count towards the bigger prize.
Yeah, and it was Kawasaki's Dylan Ferrandis who took a DNF here, and he was one of the outside challengers, wasn't it? And his championship challenge effectively ended here in the first race last year.
Looking down further the order, Max Anstey obviously out of this Grand Prix now after leading it. Slightly comfortable margin as well, a couple of seconds ahead of Tim Geiger. Ben Watson, another Brit.
Oh, back end just pushing him wide there. We're on the penultimate lap here. It's too close to call. This is down to the final podium, isn't it? Between Jordi Tixier, who's on 36 points, who is 5th in the race behind Benoit Paturel. And then we've got also Benoit Paturel's on 34 points, looking at trying to find his way past Paul Jonas on the Red Bull KTM, just there, middle rider in shot.
Well, it's going to be a French rider on the podium, isn't it? So if Paturel passes Jonas, he's just going to swap places with Tixier.
Our leaders have gone through. Guillaume, 4.7 seconds clear of Geiser. As they work their way back round to start their final lap, this battle here, Jonas, Paturel, Tixier, Petrov, Siwa, all within not much of each other. Look, queuing up behind the back marker there, Ivanov. Tixier coming into land.
Still not that easy to pass. I mean, you can see just how close the riders are. Eating roost every lap, which can't be pleasant. And it's just nobody really just trying to find a place. And there's Guillaume, he's by himself now. What's the gap? For nearly 5 seconds, the guys are at the top of the hill.
Yeah, backed it right off. And Guillaume looking at trying to pick up his 3rd race win of the season here. He's already got 2 Grand Prix victories as well.
So 3rd Grand Prix win as well.
Yeah, guys are just to, well, metaphorically anyway, throwing in the towel, knowing that the championship is possibly more important than going after a couple more points. But how important will those 3 points be at the end of the championship campaign?
Jonas, is he going to hang on? So, Paturel, see if he can do it. If we can swap camera angle, then behind that UFO banner, then you're going to see that corner there. That's where Paturel was attacking for most of the second half of this moto. Just want to know something's going to happen down there. Well, he's been through already.
Yeah, he's not close enough. I don't think he's just going to run out of time here. He's not going to find his way through on Jonas, barring a little mistake, a little slip is all it's going to take. But Valentin Guillaume, though, cresting the hill for the final time. Exits turn 3. It's going to be an easy run down to the finish line then for Valentin Guillaume, standing construct Yamaha Yamalube as he takes his 3rd race win of the season and his 3rd Grand Prix victory as well in 2015. Here's the run towards the line for 3rd place, though, because Geiser over the line in 2nd. Jonas is going to hang on to 3rd. That'll give him 2nd overall. Paturel, a career best finish in 4th in the race. Tixier should come over the line any moment now in 5th, and that would be good enough for 3rd overall in the Grand Prix, and it is. And Benoit Paturel, again, a career best for him. 4th overall in the race, 4th overall in the Grand Prix.
DNF Max Anstey, Julian Lieber in 6th place. Max Anstey not finishing the 2nd, but 7th overall. And Jeremy Seward has taken 14 points in that second motor pool, finishing 8th.
And that's a massive blow for Max Anstey, because you know, in terms of had he picked up another 25 points, he would have been edging closer towards Jeremy Seewer and Jordi Tixier and those guys, and, you know, effectively setting himself up. But he knows, like anybody else, after what's happened to Jeffrey Hurlings and what we've seen all season long with a whole bunch of other riders and title contenders, Adam, that, you know, it's not over until it's over, is it? Well, Adam will be joining me back again in the MXGP Race 2. So for now, Adam, thanks a lot. And we'll see you a little bit later on. But Valentin Guillot, then, your winner by 6 seconds in Race 2. Just a quick recap then as to the top 20 riders here in this second MX2 race. Valentin Guillot, a winner by 6.6 seconds in the end. Tim Geisser, second overall. Paul Jonas, third. Benoit Patrarel was fourth. Fifth for Jordi Tixier. Sixth for Petrov. Seventh for Seewer. 8th for Lieber, 9th for Brent Van Donning, and 10th for Brian Borgers, 11th for Samuele Bernardini. David Puchas was 12th, Ivo Monticelli, Zaragoza, Robert Just, Harry Koulas, Thomas Covington 17th, Adam Sterry 18th, Sever Brojakov, and Davide Bonini. And your overall winner, Valentin Guillot, is down. Wait to speak to Lisa Leyland to see what he has to say.
Valentin Guillot, congratulations. Do you need some water? We'll just get you some water. There you go. It's very dusty. I think Valentin's just got something caught in his throat. You okay there?
Yeah, good.
Valentin, your third overall Grand Prix victory of the season. You really have been pushing so hard, and it's clearly taken a lot out of you.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good race. At the beginning, I was not so good because it was very slippery, but then the track started to dry a bit, and I was feeling better and better. And yeah, I was waiting till the moment I know I can pass, and it's what happened. And really happy to win that race.
You did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Three race wins, 3 Grand Prix victories for standing construct Yamaha Yamalubes. Valentin Guillot, the number 92 from Switzerland. He's been blisteringly fast all weekend long. In the qualifying race, he made hard work for himself, but showed that he had more than enough speed to be a title contender at least, but also a Grand Prix podium contender this weekend, and that's exactly what he's done. A second in race 1, a win in race 2. Valentin Guillot, 3 wins now in 2015.
By se tam měl předvíst také. No a uvidíme, co na to Američani, protože je o to velký zájem. To byl zájem
Championship or Grand Prix then this weekend. Valentin Guillot, your overall winner. Jonas second, Tixier third. Patrarel with a career best in 4th, and Petrov 5th overall. Lieber, Anstey and Seewer your top 8. 9th for Brent Van Donning and 10th for Tim Geisser.
Tak když přijel na avizovaný první závod do Kataru a Tajska, tak jsem někde, vy jste to určitě taky zaznamenali, strašně moc amerických novinářů se přihlásilo na hotely a na závody se akreditovali. No a pochopitelně, když Ryan Deepotou se zranil a nestartuje od Itálie, kde jsme to viděli, jak zahodil motorku, a dokonce jsem tam četl, že prostě zahodil motorku.
Championship looks like this. Jeffrey Hurlings continues to lead. He's 24 points clear now of Geisser and Guillot, who's now tied for second. Jonas 10 points further back. Then Tixier up 1. Seewer down to 6th. Anstey stays 7th. So one of the, should we say, major blows at the moment with Max Anstey, who is an outside challenger for the world title this far out, at least, with that victory in the first race, his double race win in Latvia 2 weekends ago, leading the race before he crashed out, losing 25 vital World Championship points. KTM still lead the way, but Kawasaki are closing in now, 36 behind. Yamaha third, Honda, Suzuki, Husqvarna, and TM down there in 7th.
Tak hostesky už se nám tam ukazují. Kubatura MX2 celkové výsledky.
Right, who was it that took the foxhole shot? Ooh, Max Anstey just, I think. Tonkov, Hurlings and Anstey. We'll see Anstey injured, so will not collect that award. Getting ready for the podium then here in MX2. And third overall, riding Monster Energy Kawasaki Racing Team, the Frenchman and defending champion. He was on the top step here last year, Jordi Tixier. Doesn't look super happy, does he, about that third overall, but it is a podium, no less. His first podium since France. Paul Jonas, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, though, takes another podium back-to-back now. Second in Latvia, second here in the Czech Republic. And your overall winner, standing construct Yamaha Yamalu, Valentin Guillot. 3 race wins, 3 Grand Prix victories to his name in 2015. Tied on points now with Tim Geiser for second. Tim Matisse, team manager for standing construct Yamaha Yamalu, will obviously take the manufacturer's trophy on behalf of the Japanese company. As Roman Fevre looking up towards the podium, but Zdeněk Drazny of SUAS handing the third place trophy to Jordi Tixier. Paul Jonas will take his second place trophy from Jiří Cervenka, Karlovy Vary region. Just down the road, about 10 or 15 Ks away from here. And the overall winner for the third time this year, Yamaha, or standing construct Yamaha Yamalubes, Valentin Guillot. Zdeněk Bednar, the mayor of Lockett, handing him a nice piece of Czech crystal for his hard-earned efforts today. Tim Matisse, team manager, will take a little bit of something from Czech Republic, from Patricia Bendova. But Dirk Grubel, the team manager for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing MX2, will take the red plate on behalf of Jeffrey Hurlings, of course, from Tony Skillington, the FIM CMS director. Hurlings out with a dislocated hip, picked up yesterday in qualifying. But for Valentin Guillot and Switzerland, the national anthem.
A nyní poprosím o švýcarskou státní hymnu Rider National Anthem.
Top 3 then here at the MX2 Grand Prix of Czech Republic here, round 13 of the FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship. Valentin Guillot, standing construct Yamaha Yamalu, with a second and a win. Edging out Paul Jonas, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, and Jordi Tixier, Monster Energy Kawasaki Racing Team. A Swiss, a Latvian and a French. Let's have a look at the highlights, though, of MX2 Race 2. Some of the highlights then from MX2 Race 2, which was won by Valentin Guillot, the overall Grand Prix winner as well. Here he is with Lisa Leyland.
Valentin Guillot, huge congratulations, 3rd overall of the year. But you've been getting bad starts pretty much all weekend, but somehow you've just been managing to pull it back, and you've worked so hard for it.
Actually, it's not all weekend, it's all year I have bad start, but no, we keep working on that. I hope finally we're going to have some good start, but anyway, I can see that if I don't start so good, but I don't go make too much mistake at the beginning, I can come back and pass the guys and try to fight in front with the guys. So yeah, it was a good race. Like I said before, it was a bit slippery both race. At the beginning, I wasn't feeling not so good, and
they're everywhere, the wasps.
yeah, and but when the track started to dry, I was feeling better and better. And yeah, first race I had a small crash, and finally I came back in the rear wheel of Max, but I didn't pass him. But yeah, second race I make a great race, and it was really good, really cool to win again, be on top of the box. And yeah, I want to thank all my team, Standing Construct Yamaha. They make a great job, all my sponsors who are next to me, and yeah, everyone who support me. Really want to thank you all.
Congratulations, thanks for that, Valentin. We have Paul's Jonas, 2nd overall today. Paul's 4th podium of the season. You had to do a lot of defending in that second moto as well.
Yeah, you know, for 4th podium of the season, and that's just awesome. You know, last year I was battling for top 15, and this year already 4th podium, and yeah, I'm really happy to be on a podium. And yeah, it was a tough race. You know, I didn't expect that I will be on a podium in Loket, because you know, hardpack tracks, many guys are fast in hardpack, but yeah, I rode good. I just, you know, Stefan Everts helped me a lot, you know, in the winter time. He gave me so many advice, and now it's coming out a little bit, you know, and getting more experience. And yeah, the second moto was really good, you know. I had some nice battle, but all the time I stay calm and try to stay in my rhythm and don't do mistakes. And you know, I have to say big thanks to the whole Red Bull KTM team, and yeah, Dirk Grubel, Pete Bayer for believing in me, you know, and he's doing a great job. And also my dad, my family, everyone, you know, my girlfriend, my mechanics Wayne and Gatis, you know, everyone is doing so great job, and just thanks to everyone.
Great job, Pauls. Thank you. We have Jordi Tixier, 3rd overall today at the GP of Czech Republic. Jordi, quite a consistent weekend for you. We haven't seen you on the podium for about 4 rounds now. Are you happy to be back?
Yeah, actually not. Should be better. Yeah, yesterday was quite good, and we had that big crash with Jeffrey. You know, again, I'm really sorry about it. I wish you a really quick recovery, buddy. For today, yeah, yesterday I had to go to the hospital to get stitches in my arm, and yeah, today on the gate pit was not the best, but you know, 3rd in the first moto was not so bad, and second moto I didn't find any rhythm. I couldn't pass Jonas, and I did so many mistakes. So I mean, like you said, I'm on a box, but it's not what I wish. But anyway, thanks to the team, thanks to Monster, all my sponsor, my girlfriend, my family, my parents, my brother, everyone around. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Jordi Tixier 3rd overall, but not happy with this weekend. Unsurprising, really, nailing his buddy in qualifying race yesterday, but also picking up an arm injury that needed stitches after the qualifying race yesterday. But despite that, he's been able to battle through. Jonas was 2nd this weekend, back-to-back podiums for him now, but Valentin Guillot, a 3rd win of the year for the Swiss rider.